Jacket back after this meeting. That's real nice though. Does it come in men's sizes? Don't open the door if you don't want me walking in. Hey, I sat here and I listened with 280 active Rotarians. Do y'all realize how much those 280 people do in this city? It is off the charts amazing. I had no idea. I thought the answer would have been in the thousands because so much is done by Rotarians. Yesterday was a blast. Downtown was fun. Shane was there. We honored his dad, who just an incredible human being. Sorry for your loss, brother, but what a legacy your dad has left here. I'm surprised y'all gave me 45 minutes to talk. Say what? Oh, Steve took it all.
Another attorney.
So, we got a few things happening in Arlington. Let me talk about some of the stuff that just hit the news recently. Y'all see we have a new hotel coming now. Did y'all get that? We're gonna implode, we're gonna blow up, blow down, whatever you wanna call it, the Sheridan Hotel, June 15th, I think the date is. June 15th is coming down. Sheridan will no longer take customers after mid-February. It will be officially shut down and they'll begin to gut it. We're gonna take a period of time and let the police and fire department go in there and just blow stuff up and shoot stuff up and all that kind of stuff for training. And then in June, it's gonna be imploded. It's gonna be replaced with a 500 plus room hotel by Lowe's. It's gonna be called the Americana by Lowe's. Beautiful new hotel. But to answer some of the questions, are you gonna save the little water area of the old Seven Seas and stuff that was out there? No, none of that stuff's gonna be saved. It's gonna be gone. But you're gonna see more restaurants, more office space, more. So we have tons of stuff going on in there. Yes, I am talking to the Dallas Stars. We are looking at trying to persuade them to come to Arlington. Now, it's a game of survivor. It's the last one on the island gets the team. Right now, the only people really fighting in the island are us and Plano. Plano has got a letter of intent with them, so they got the edge on us a little bit over there. But what they're gonna realize is where they wanna go or where Plano is wanting them to go is gonna be really, really difficult. In Arlington, we have plug and play. It's gonna be a whole lot cheaper for everybody. Plug and play infrastructure where they can come in and just plug right into all of our sewage and water and utilities and roadways and all that. The question is, where are you gonna put the Stars? Well, we have 3 stadiums here right now. One of them isn't being used a whole lot, and we can convert that to an arena with a mixed-use office space and all that. So we've proposed to them coming into Choctaw Stadium, converting that to an arena. The Stars only want like a 20,000 seat capacity arena, which would be great for all of the other events that would have that amount of size. So we have Globe Life Field doing about 45,000. We have AT&T that can do 85 to 90,000, and then we'll have, if we can get them, the Stars Arena doing about 20,000. So all the different size events that could come in a multi-purpose thing. We do have the Grand Prix of Arlington coming. That's pretty exciting. They'll be traveling down Randall Mill Road at speeds close to 200 miles per hour. That's crazy.
They're gonna way to work.
Say what?
They're gonna way to work.
Yeah. Apparently that was Paige coming here because she walked in late. So, is it okay if I find her?
Yes.
You can throw a couple of bucks on the table too, all right? Anyway, we'll see what we can get with the Stars coming here. IndyCar racing right here in Arlington. They'll be here for multiple years. So this is the inaugural year. We have Lone Star Cook-Off coming back here. I went with the Cowboys a couple of years ago up to Chicago for the Windy City Cook-Off, and it's a huge event up there, and it's the world's largest barbecue festival. They combine country music and barbecue. If you're gonna combine country music and barbecue, I don't know why in the world you do it in Chicago. You need to be doing it in Texas. So we persuaded the promoters to bring an event to Texas called the Lone Star Cook-Off. Last year was the inaugural event. This year is gonna be even better, and we're excited about them being here. We have a little thing called the World Cup coming. We have 9 games, more than any other games in North America, coming here to Arlington through June and July. On July 3rd, we have a World Cup game being played at AT&T. On July 6th, we have a World Cup game being played at AT&T. On July 4th, we have a celebration of 250 years here in America and 150 years here in Arlington. And Paige, what? No, it's not. What are you zipping? Oh, I do have my pants unzipped. How many times have I ever done that? I'm walking up here, none of y'all said that. So,
You weren't looking there. You weren't looking there.
Tracy and Paige.
Your only friend.
Lord help me. All right, y'all, I just turned 65 last year. I'm allowed to walk around with my pants unzipped every once in a while. That's what old guys do. Are there any other old guys that have done that before? So it happens, all right? Lord help me. Makes twice, I know. So what we're gonna do on July 4th is we're gonna take what was Light Up Arlington in downtown. We're gonna give it a big steroid shot. We're gonna do it over the lake there behind the Medal of Honor Museum in conjunction with the Medal of Honor. I met a couple of nights ago with Governor Abbott, and he's given us some assurance the state of Texas is gonna help us put this event on, which is really cool. But we're gonna have the world here in Arlington for these soccer games. So we're gonna have a massive drone and fireworks show with music and everything over the lakes out there on the 4th of July. It's really, really, really gonna be cool. Tons of stuff going on. I used to be part of Sunrise Rotary years and years and years ago. And we met at Rolling Hills Country Club back in the day. And have y'all seen Rolling Hills lately?
Dirt.
Yeah, it's all dirt and everything moving around over there. So it's well underway with the development going on in there. There's about 100 acres up there. The back 75 acres are gonna be luxury homes priced about $650 on up. And the front 25 acres or so is gonna be mixed-use stuff with some retail, restaurants, grocery store, townhomes, things such as that. So, number of things happening in that area. Anybody curious about Lincoln Square? Yeah. Lincoln Square will see shovels in the dirt probably this spring, early summer. Finally getting around to getting something going on there. There's gonna be a new road that runs right up in front, north and south in front of the movie theater. Some things will be staying. The big box stores on the west side of Lincoln Square will be staying. Burlington Coat Factory, Ulta, PetSmart.
We only care about Ulta.
I know, you and Shane care about those are gonna stay, the movie theater is gonna stay, Boomer Jacks is gonna stay. A lot of the other stuff is gonna be changed, however, and there'll be new stuff coming in there, an office building coming in there. It's gonna be pretty exciting to see some of the changes happening. We're in negotiations right now with Cordishes, who built Texas Live and a part of One Ranger Way, to do a 20-story single-tenant office building in the entertainment district right there on the southeast corner of where Choctaw is, over there on parking lot K, if you're familiar with those parking lots. That means bringing more business in there. So, speaking of bringing business, I've been in office now for almost 5 years. And when I first took office, I remember saying, we gotta bring jobs and jobs and jobs and jobs. And I'm able to at least stand up here now and say, here's what we've been able to do. In the last 4.5, 5 years, we brought over 27,000 new jobs to Arlington. We've increased the average salary of the worker in Arlington by over 20%, which is spectacular, because what that means is we're not just bringing service industry jobs in the entertainment district or stuff like that. We're bringing quality type jobs. Quality type jobs because we also brought 13 new North American or world headquarters to Arlington. One of the biggest ones being eSpace. eSpace, in my opinion, will be the next big General Motors type of impact here in Arlington. They are a satellite manufacturing company that is working with the current administration to help get the satellites done, create the Golden Dome. Have y'all heard about the Golden Dome that the administration wants to do? eSpace is the satellite manufacturing company working on that. In the future, the real communications is going to be with satellites. And this company is currently building 450,000 square foot of manufacturing space down at our airport. They already have temporary space inside the old Siemens building in the entertainment district. So we're very, very excited to have them there, because that means more and more incredibly good jobs are going to be coming here to Arlington as a result of eSpace. You'll be able to get to eSpace with the new road that's being built right now, Martin Luther King Boulevard, which is where Center Street dead ends into Barton. We're going to connect that area all the way down to Green Oaks with Martin Luther King Boulevard to give you access to the west side of the airport where Bell Helicopter and everybody else is over there. This past November, we had our second annual Veterans Day Parade. So we created what was called the Arlington Valor Alliance here in Arlington. It's really taken off. They helped us do a Veterans Day Parade. The very first year we did it, it was voted the best parade in Texas. We're very proud of that. This year, it's even going to be bigger and better. Last year, we had Rex Tillerson, former Secretary of State, come, and he was the Grand Marshal of the parade. In the inaugural season, we had General Pat Brady, who is the most decorated veteran and a Medal of Honor recipient, most decorated living veteran and a Medal of Honor recipient. And he was the Grand Marshal of the parade the first year. So we started creating all of these jobs and doing all of that. The simple thing is, the formula was very simple. And the first part of the formula was, what do you do about education? We formed the Mayor's Education Coalition for the first time in Texas and brought together private schools, public schools, charter schools, homeschooling, TCC, and UTA. So now they've begun to work together. Dr. Victoria Ferrara-Myers, Rotarian, is the chair of that coalition, and has done a phenomenal job helping to create programs like See Something, Say Something, which is a program for school safety, and helped to promote programs like Read What, which is a program of addressing literacy here in our schools. So I'm very proud of those efforts. The second thing is taking care of our public safety people. Here's the reality. If you don't keep your community safe, you're not going to attract good business. Our community has had a decrease in crime for the last 5 years, period. This last year alone, we decreased total crime by more than 12%. And it's nearly 20% over the last 4 to 5 years. So we're very, very proud of that. In fact, Arlington is the second safest city, according to all the statistics, in the state of Texas. How Fort Worth beat us, I have no idea. But Fort Worth and Arlington, being two Tarrant County big cities, are #1 and #2 for safe communities in all of Texas. That's critically important. Arlington is also selected by Wallet Hub as the best run city in all of North Texas. Second only to Lubbock. How in the world Lubbock got ahead of Arlington, I have no idea. No, it must have been that the committee had some Red Raiders on there, so I don't buy any of that. So We're the second best run city in the state and the best run city in the entire North Texas region. The third thing that really surprised me was these big companies want to know how your community deals with each other. And we, this last year, became the most diverse city in all of Texas. And when we became the most diverse city, I think it's because Arlington has a welcoming spirit. And people know that when you come to Arlington, you're going to be welcome regardless of anything, regardless of your ethnicity, your race, your religion, whatever it is, you're going to be welcome here. So we're very proud of that statistic. I'll give you an example. We created advisory councils of everything that I'm not, from Muslim to Black to Latino to Asian to women to whatever. So I could deal with different parts of our community that I didn't know much about. When the Gaza war broke out, you saw a lot of protests going on about pro-Palestinian or anti-Palestinian, whatever it may be, in communities all through the country and all over North Texas. When it broke out, we had our Muslim and Jewish advisory councils come together, and they said, Mayor, we want to do something different. We want to stand together with the No More Hate proclamation here in Arlington. So we did a No More Hate proclamation in Arlington saying, listen, we don't care what your position is on everything else, but violent protests are not welcome here in our community. And at City Council, we had our Muslim and Jewish communities stand together shoulder to shoulder and said, this is not the place for that. It was the only time I've ever seen a standing ovation for a proclamation at City Council. That speaks volumes for the character of the city. And character matters. People come to Arlington because of our character. When you do things that people don't like, just like in the club or with your friendships, you don't hang around them anymore. You don't treat them the way you do your close friends. I sit down here and I watch y'all give each other a hard time and tease and laugh and all of that because you're all a bunch of characters. But because y'all love each other and you treat each other with dignity and respect. So the bottom line is the way we've been so successful is treating businesses, treating other communities with dignity and respect. Now, I'll fight. Y'all seen the fights I got into with Dallas over naming the stadium Dallas Stadium. You saw the fights I got in there. You mess with my family, we in for a fight. But y'all aren't any different.
Who's driving?
That's right. All right. So, with that, any questions? There's always questions. Tracy?
So, question you didn't answer yesterday. There's a lot of conversation around Arlington that we spend all of our dollars and resources in the entertainment district. We are ignoring the southern corridor, the south part of Arlington, the southwest central Arlington, and the southeast corridors. Tell me some things that are going on in those areas to dispute those statements.
Okay, we have a lot of time. Let's first of all talk about eSpace, which is down at the airport and all the jobs that it's bringing.
And that's the Arlington Airport.
That's the Arlington National Airport, not the Arlington Municipal Airport. Arlington reached national status a couple of years ago with their airport. We have tons of things happening down along the I-20 corridor, around the international corridor. We created an international corridor committee. You're going to be seeing they just came out with a whole new plan, comprehensive plan for the international corridor to beautify everything. If you're not familiar with where that is, it's from Collins and 303 to the east city limits on there. That's where tons of international businesses are there. So you're seeing beautification going on down there as we speak. David Dang at Bentham Plaza has made a substantial investment into building new buildings down there, bringing in new business as well. We're continuing to focus on our transportation issues in that part of town, as you can see with the Southeast Connector, which is the interchange there at I-20 and 820. It's a mess right now, isn't it? But it's going ahead of schedule, and it's gonna make things much, much better. As that gets done, what you're gonna start seeing are more and more businesses coming to that area, because those are the types of things that attract those businesses in those areas, is making them more easily accessible with that. So yeah, I think the entertainment district gets a lot of information, but let me tell you, if you look at stuff like, we have a three-part, a triple barrel shotgun, so to speak, for economic development. We have our Economic Development Corporation that we started funding in 2021, and we fund it with a 1/4 cent sales tax. That brings in about $30 million a year that we can help entice businesses to come to Arlington. We have our Office of Economic Development, which is within the city itself. And our Office of Economic Development helps us work on making sure that we can do the proper tax incentives and things such as that here in Arlington. And then we have our Office of Strategic Planning, which helps put all the pieces of the puzzle together. So when you look at the investments being made from those three departments, very few of those investments are going into the entertainment district when it comes to that. The big attention comes to the entertainment district because it's all grandiose. It's all, I mean, we have the biggest entertainment district in Southwest United States. We bring nearly 17 million people a year to the entertainment district. And that gets a lot of attention when you're doing the World Cup, when you're doing all of that. But we're not making that type of massive financial investments. When we're doing the World Cup, we're getting a ton of money from the federal government, ton of money from the state government. We're having to do a little bit of stuff in there, but the return on that investment is off the charts. Let me give you a real quick example also. I never leave a meeting without transportation coming up. Here's the issue on transportation. You have 3 transit authorities in North Texas. You have Denton County, DART, T-Metro. Then you have a group of non-member cities. Non-member cities, the biggest ones are Arlington and Grand Prairie. Those are 4 different entities doing 4 different things. You can get around Arlington just fine. We have public transportation. It's our rideshare program. What you can't do is you can't get into our rideshare and go to Dallas. You can't get in our rideshare and go to Denton. You can't get in our rideshare and go to Fort Worth, but you can't get in anybody else's rideshare and come to us either. You can't. In fact, Arlington started the rideshare program before anybody else went to it. And what we're seeing now is we have 6 cities in North Texas trying to get out of DART. I talked to the Plano mayor, and he says, we invest $120 million every year into DART. Now, folks, mind you, our budget in Arlington is substantially more than Plano, but our budget is still less than $800 million. If I had to take $120 million and invest it into transportation, I'm in a world of trouble. What Plano has said is they had Edward Jones come, Edward Jones? Yeah, they had Edward Jones come in, or someone come in, and say, listen, what's this really doing for us? And they found that they get a $40 million benefit on their $120 million investment per year. Their return on investment is nothing compared to what they're doing. So they're in the red $80 million every single year. So Arlington is not going to jump into that. We did say, listen, we'll find a way to be engaged if and when high-speed rail gets approved and funded. And high-speed rail is an uphill battle. We're looking to try to connect Fort Worth to Dallas to Arlington down the middle of I-30 with a high-speed rail system so that you can go from Arlington to Dallas in 12 minutes, Arlington to Fort Worth in 12 minutes. So, yeah, we're making those investments all over the city. What you don't see, though, is when we make those investments, like we have massive companies moving in down south of I-20 with the big warehouse areas down there. Massive companies moving in down there, but they they don't get all the notoriety that's coming, but they are bringing jobs. Any other questions? Jack?
Well, you stole my one on transportation, so let me move to something that's coming up this weekend. How are we gonna handle the cold for some of those that are unhoused, what we have in our community? What's the city's plans for that?
Yeah, so we've already started preparing for it. First of all, our public safety people and our public works people have already started getting all the equipment out, getting the roadways treated and all of that kind of stuff, so we can try to optimize our ability to take care of our roadways so people can move about. The second thing is we have to make sure that those who are homeless and everything have a place to go. Last night we kicked off, I was down at the Human Services Center on Sanford last night helping to kick off our count this year, our annual count for homeless here. We had a ton of volunteers. I was pleased to see a lot of Rotarians out there. I don't know if anybody in here today was out there, probably not, because when they do their count, they normally don't finish till about 2 in the morning. And they go around with, we had about 50 or 60 police officers out there as well, helping them identify all of the homeless. We've opened up rec centers. We're prepared. We have rec centers, libraries and stuff all over the city that will be open in the event that we need them. We're keeping them open extra hours, even if we have to keep them open with one staff member right now. We'll make sure that we have a warm place for people to go. We have people that are able to get around and pick people up, so we have hotlines that people can call that can pick people up. The police know how to contact them, and we can send people to get them into shelters. Yes, sir.
How does an Arlington resident get a ticket to the World Cup?
Are you faithful and do you know how to pray?
I've failed 3 raffles at this point.
So here's what I'll tell you. You know, the tickets are really tough to come by. Trey Elverton, my city manager, came to me and he says, Mayor, FIFA wants to know if we want to keep our stadium at our suite at the stadium during the World Cup. I said, how much is it? He says, $1.8 million. And after I got done throwing up, I said, no, I don't think we need a suite for $1.8 million so we could watch 9 soccer games. So I don't even have tickets to get in there right now. The short of it is they're tough to come by and they're squeezing them. Now FIFA is really good at controlling them. Controlling the tickets so there's not a lot of scalpers and all of that stuff out there, but it's tough. Yes, ma'am.
So, what are you doing as far as green space goes and, ecological, I can't even talk right now, initiatives, and all these big buildings that you're building, are they gonna be ecologically sound as well? Maybe some solar panels to run the electricity, things like that. What are you doing as far as energy saving and green space?
Great question. So, first of all, let's talk a little bit about how much green space Arlington has. Almost none.
Right.
Almost none. We're about 98% built out. We have 99 square miles. Let me put it in perspective a little bit. Fort Worth has 350 square miles. They are about as built out as Arlington is, if you look at their density areas there. So they're less than half built out. And they have tons of green space available to them to continue to grow. And that's one of the reasons why they're growing out there. So what we have to look at is how do we retrofit existing businesses or re-envision businesses that are coming in to be more environmentally friendly. And one of the things that we're doing is we're providing incentives for those who take that effort. So for instance, Walmart, we have to play off of what's going on around here. Walmart on Randall Mill Road, they come in and they say, listen, we're thinking about doing solar stuff. Will y'all approve solar stuff? And I was like, well, yeah, absolutely we'll approve solar stuff. As I sit with Walmart, I realize what they really want to do is they want to advertise Walmart during the World Cup. So what they propose to us, which I think is brilliant because it kills both cups, is we want to put all these solar panels on the roof of Walmart, but they're putting them on the roof in the shape of a Walmart logo. and they're gonna be lit underneath. So at night, when they're doing the overhead shots of the stadium, Walmart's gonna get all that advertisement from all over the world on there. But at the same time, we're getting them to be more environmentally friendly with their solar panels. eSpace, I put them in touch, I'm not gonna say which company it is, but it's the company that does all of our gas wells around here and all that, who also have environmentally friendly divisions of their gas well company. And, they are speaking to eSpace now, so that eSpace can put solar panels out on top of their warehouse and everything like that, and their parking areas, so that all of them could be environmentally friendly as well. So we're in the process of retroing our city buildings with some environmental friendly stuff and leading the way on that. In fact, I'm speaking next week in Washington DC on just that thing on a panel with a bunch of other mayors from around the country. So it's tough because we have to make changes to old things and it gets more and more expensive. So we have to find ways to encourage and incentivize people to do just that.
Last question, we're out of time.
What are you guys
Yes.
doing?
So,
Who wants?
One
What are
question,
y'all doing to,
and he'll be around afterwards if you guys want.
fix the, planning and zoning, some of the issues with that?
To fix planning and zoning. All right, Tracy.
That's an open-ended question there. Yeah, Tracy, what are you doing?
Here's what I'll tell you. Planning and Zoning Commission, the commissioners that serve on there, they serve because, for the same reason the council wants to do stuff for the city, is because they want to give back. None of us are experts in those fields, to be candid with you. I'm a lawyer and a restaurateur. When I first became mayor, I knew squat about P&Z, planning and development. I didn't know anything. I'm not gonna tell you I'm an expert now, but I've educated myself in speaking with all the other people who are experts. Every single week, we are working at fine-tuning the operations of not just P&Z, but city council, but the library committee, every single committee that's out there. So I would argue that, yeah, P&Z, library committee, our veteran committee, none of us are perfect. None of us have it all down, but they're all doing the best they can. And to be candid, when I see the operations of other cities, I'll put this city up against anybody when it comes to that, because we're doing a really, really good job.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on really appreciate it. So in appreciation of you coming out today, we are gonna look in your name, to one of the two elementary schools that we've adopted here in town. So we have an Anderson Elementary School that we've adopted and do all sorts of stuff for it. Thank you for that. And also, I've got a hat for you to proudly wear around town with the logo of the best Rotary Club in Arlington. Absolutely, absolutely.
You are an alumni.
You are an alumni, that's right.
Come back.
All right.
All right.